Oh, thank God. 2020 has been nothing short of the worst year I've ever had. And same goes for a lot of other people. Saying that this pandemic, this could go on for ages. We don't know exactly how long that this pandemic is going to last for, but I just have a feeling that it's not over. I think that we, all of us together, we've come acclimatized to roughing it. I guess a lot of people have been going back into survival mode, and that's pretty good. If 2021 gets worse, we can all expect to see that things are going to get a little more adaptable. I think society, what's going to happen is that society is going to probably adapt to the changings of the times that we're in. So, yeah, a lot of people are going to be trying to get their bearings if things are expected to get back to normal, which I'm not really sure. It's going to be a long process either way. If things do return to normal, we're going to still see people still wearing masks. We're going to still see people probably social distancing, even though that if this pandemic comes to an end, people are going to be used to it with all the apps and Zoom and with everything else that exists now. The technology is getting pretty advanced, I must say. And now people I've seen people streaming now. They're now on Twitch. They're on BitChute. YouTube is, for the most part, it's the digital abyss. And I'm not big on going on camera, but when I do, I usually like to talk about issues and not waste people's time. I might want to get into doing podcasting. This was my New Year's resolution for me. I don't know. You see, I'll hope to get into doing like other things too, like maybe animation. I wanted to get into doing music, but unfortunately in 2020 I spent the large majority of my time just trying to find work, trying to build documentaries for only maybe a handful of people. I've been suspended, I've been shadow banned, I've had a lot of work taken from me as a result of these community guideline strikes, which it's not fun. So I'm getting used to that. So I would probably recommend to people for 2021. Information is probably going to be a big thing. There's a huge explosion of information on the internet. More people are going to be staying at home, so that means more people are going to be spending their time uploading, creating content, which means that if their content gets taken down, that they should have a means of safeguarding and safely storing their information on a high density hard drive, which in my case I would probably invest in like a 5 terabyte hard drive. Seagate's pretty good. Seagate's pretty good. I don't think this is going to be like one of those videos I'm going to chop down and edit. I just want to be myself. And I'm just saying though that I spent my Christmas, while most people have been going home to see their families. I decided, well, you know what? Since 2020 has been a disaster of a year, that's a huge understatement. It's been the worst year of my life. But I hope to make this year, starting today, January 1st, I hope to make it better, to turn things around, and maybe, hopefully, if I'm successful, if I get to the level of success where I feel like I need to be, then I feel that I'll be in a position to help other people too. To help them to get from A to B. And I understand a lot of people are now struggling because there's jobs, the job market, it sucks. People are now going online. People are taking these online courses. They're going to taking these online courses, paying money for a digital degree or something. I'm not really sure how all of this stuff works. I'm still learning, but I'm all by myself up north for now. I'm just at home. Nobody tells me these things when there's change. Change happens in big waves, and what I expect to see more of in 2021 is everything switching to digital. I don't expect, even if this pandemic is over, I'm not living in an area where I can socialize with many people. So it's like, oh, good luck. If you want to get into a podcast with like two, three, or four people, nah, that's never gonna happen. Unless I take the plunge, go on Zoom or go on digital streaming via Twitch, or I don't know what else exists. But every day, if I continue on with this, hopefully I'll get to talk to some intellectuals and maybe we can get involved in something right there. Yeah. Another thing too, I would take this opportunity to just I'll put a list down at the bottom, some links of some good people who helped me out along my journey. They're really great people. And my downtime, I don't know about you guys, but in my downtime, I like to look to the Bible. There's some good stuff in here. God, he's good. He was the reason why I'm now here streaming, um, staying sane, and lasted this long to 2021, because 2020, I think for a lot of us, we've been severely impacted, and yeah, I mean when you think about it, like living on rice and living on ramen, being isolated, not having a job, and the only woman in the city that you can turn to is your grandmother. My grandmother, by the way, and this is true. You don't have to take my word for it, but I'm probably going to post some pictures later next time if you don't believe me. But my grandmother, she must be, I must have the rotten luck of having the most untech savvy woman. She's in her 80s. She's using a 20-year-old Dell from 1999. Yeah, and I know I don't even want to talk about that. She gets upset when I try to explain to her, like, no, this is not 2000, it's 2020. Everything has changed. If you don't have a smartphone, you're not going to know what's going on. And she's like, oh, she doesn't understand anything about social media. It's like old people these days. People, especially here in this city, I swear to God, it's like, I'm not American, but I'm not saying anything against old people, but it's this place, this city that I'm living in, it feels like the retirement home of the country. That's the truth. I think people come here just to live, just to retire, and that's it. I think that's why maybe I probably should be moving on at some point. I don't know. There's a lot of people that are migrating to and fro. They're looking for jobs. Everything is going digital, and I have to keep on making videos. Hopefully, for the benefit of others, if they want to take the time to listen, great. Here's what I would do. Now you made it to almost 10 minutes. I'm going to show you. Here's what you can do. You can go online, eBay in 2021, or in Wish.com, and if you want to upgrade, just get some refurbished tech. You don't have to buy the latest. You don't have to buy anything that's brand new. Um, what I may recommend is to just browse through browse through what they have. Look at the ratings of every seller and see from their track record. Even if it's something refurbished, used, if you don't have a lot of money to spend, that's fine. If you can afford to wait, just go buy from China. Unless if you really need that extra piece of software. I know that the technology it's improving. Everything is bumping up to 4K. I'm still using my iPhone 6, and yeah, it's like every year now where we up to 13. We can't keep up with the technology. I think it's just made that way just so that people can keep on consuming. But you know what? I would just say for the next little while, even if you're thinking about buying that new PlayStation 5 or whatever, I would just say save it. Just save your money. Take care of the basics first. Make sure you have that. Actually, you know what I was going to do? Here's what I was going to do. I was going to make a few videos about me getting into shape, me getting into the best shape of my life. That's another year's resolution. I was going to do that. And one thing I found out from last year, I had to learn the hard way, but it wasn't really a choice, really. But fasting. Fasting, it's not the healthiest thing to do, but if you can try and do it healthy, like maybe have one apple a day or have that with oatmeal, and you do that for like a week, don't eat anything else, and just get into the habit of walking around the city. I've walked around the city a couple times just to get my groceries. I still don't have a car, so that's probably why I'm still thin. And yeah, I would just recommend just going out, just exercise. Just you don't have to do anything strenuous. You don't have to buy like big weights like some people are doing. I may actually do that, but it's not. You don't have to do that. You could just get into jumping jacks and just do that every morning. You know, you'll get yourself a little bit of energy, a little bit of pep. I'm drinking tea, by the way. I'm drinking Tetley tea. And you know, something that's cheap. You could buy it in the box. It's cheap. You don't have to go to wherever Starbucks and get the $5 coffees. All these big businesses, they're there for one reason. They're there to take your money. But on the other hand, being in a social, that's a good thing. You know, it's a good thing to have. Being with a group. And that's what I would recommend. Anybody who can get into a group, that would be the healthiest thing, I think. It'll give you at least a reason to wake up in the morning. If you don't have a job, find something that you can do, whether it's podcasting, whether it's talking with people, trying to network, doing business with. And that might be a good thing to think about, having a New Year's resolution and sticking with it. Just the simple things, you know. Whatever you're doing, I hope that you stick to it. That's going to be the challenge in of itself, sticking to your goals, whatever they are. If your goals are simple, like starting a podcast on Twitch, or just do what I want to do, I want to try to become big on YouTube or BitChute, because every time I've been posting, I don't have an audience. It's been really frustrating for me in 2020. I haven't been able to get my documentaries, and I haven't been able to learn too much because I'm just learning by myself. But you know, it's like when it gets to that time when you're bottlenecking, you're going in circles. You don't know what it is you don't know. I think that's the key thing, that one take-home point that I learned in film school, that DJ of a teacher that I used to have when I used to go back into film school. You don't know what it is you don't know. So find people that you can network with, stick to your goals, and just stick to it, you know, just half at it. And I'm going to try and stick to my regimen from now on in 2021. That's all I guess for now. Hope you guys are doing great, and until then, stay crafty. God bless.